Welcome to Smart Mind Quiz. Today we're diving deep into the topic of climate change. How much do you really know? Let's put your knowledge to the test.
What is climate change? Change in weather patterns. Long-term shift in global climate. A temporary weather event. What is the primary cause of climate change? Natural cycles, greenhouse gas emissions, solar radiation. What are greenhouse gases? Gases that trap heat, gases that cool the earth, gases that dissolve in oceans. Gases that trap heat. Which gas is the most abundant greenhouse gas? Carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor. Water vapor. Which sector is the largest contributor to global greenhouse gas emissions? Transportation, agriculture, energy. Energy. What is the main human activity responsible for increased CO2 levels? Industrialization, deforestation, fossil fuel burning. Fossil fuel burning. What is the effect of deforestation on climate change? Increases CO2 absorption. Increases CO2 emissions. No effect. Which international agreement aims to limit global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius? Kyoto Protocol, Paris Agreement, Montreal Protocol. Paris Agreement. What is the main cause of ocean acidification? Increased oxygen levels, increased carbon dioxide levels, increased salt levels. What is the impact of rising temperatures on polar ice caps? Melting, thickening, no change. Melting. What is the effect of climate change on sea levels? Sea levels are rising. Sea levels are falling. Sea levels remain constant. Sea levels are rising. What type of extreme weather is becoming more frequent due to climate change? Hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis. Hurricanes. What is the term for the gradual increase in Earth's average temperature? Global cooling, global warming, ocean warming. Global warming. How does climate change affect biodiversity? Increases biodiversity, decreases biodiversity. No effect. Decreases biodiversity. What is a carbon footprint? The amount of CO2 emissions an individual produces. A type of carbon storage system. The amount of carbon in the soil. What is the effect of melting glaciers on freshwater supplies? Increases freshwater availability. Decreases freshwater availability. No effect. Which renewable energy source is most commonly used to reduce carbon emissions? Coal, solar energy, nuclear energy. What is a climate refugee? Someone displaced by war. Someone displaced by weather events. Someone displaced by climate change. Which of the following is a major contributor to methane emissions? Landfills, solar farms, wind turbines. Landfills. What is the primary greenhouse gas emitted by agriculture? Methane, nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide. Methane. How does climate change affect food security? Improves crop yields, reduces crop yields, has no effect on food security. What is the effect of climate change on coral reefs? Coral bleaching, coral growth, increased biodiversity. Coral bleaching. What does the term carbon neutral mean? No net CO2 emissions, increased carbon emissions, reduced carbon emissions. No net CO2 emissions. What is the primary goal of the Paris Agreement? To promote renewable energy, to combat deforestation, to limit global warming. To limit global warming. What is a climate model? A tool to predict future weather, a tool to predict climate trends, a tool to study animal migration. What is the greenhouse effect? The process by which CO2 is removed from the atmosphere, the trapping of heat in the Earth's atmosphere, the increase in plant growth. What is the effect of global warming on the frequency of droughts? Increased frequency, decreased frequency, no effect. Increased frequency. What is the impact of rising temperatures on agriculture? Increased productivity, reduced productivity, no effect on agriculture. What is carbon sequestration? Capturing and storing carbon, releasing carbon into the atmosphere, producing carbon emissions. Capturing and storing carbon. What is the main cause of sea level rise? Melting glaciers and ice sheets, decreased rainfall, increased evaporation. Melting glaciers and ice sheets. Which of the following is a strategy to combat climate change? Increase fossil fuel use, carbon capture and storage, cutting down more trees. How does climate change affect animal migration patterns? Causes earlier migrations, no effect on migration, delays migration. Causes earlier migrations. What is the effect of climate change on hurricanes? Stronger and more frequent, weaker and less frequent, no change. Stronger and more frequent. What are climate feedback loops? Processes that amplify or diminish climate change. Processes that slow down climate change. Processes that are unrelated to climate change. What is the term for a long-term reduction in snow and ice cover? Ice expansion, cryosphere depletion, glaciation. What is the primary source of nitrous oxide emissions? Agricultural activities, burning fossil fuels, transportation. Agricultural activities. How does ocean warming affect marine life? Causes coral bleaching, increases fish populations, stabilizes marine ecosystems. Causes coral bleaching. Which of the following is a potential solution to reduce carbon emissions? Expanding natural gas production, transitioning to renewable energy, increasing coal mining. How does deforestation contribute to climate change? Absorbs more CO2, releases stored carbon, creates more biodiversity. Which international body is responsible for assessing climate change science? The World Health Organization, the International Climate Union, IPCC. IPCC. What is the impact of climate change on water resources? Increases water availability. Reduces water availability. No effect. How do fossil fuels contribute to climate change? They absorb CO2. They emit greenhouse gases. They cool the atmosphere. What is the term for climate change caused by human activities? Natural climate variability. Anthropogenic climate change. Solar-driven climate change. How do forests help combat climate change? Absorb carbon dioxide. Emit carbon dioxide. Emit methane. Absorb carbon dioxide. What is the effect of global warming on extreme weather events? Less extreme weather. More extreme weather. No change. What is a tipping point in climate change? A point where changes become irreversible. A point where climate cools down. A point where CO2 emissions drop. A point where changes become irreversible. Which of the following is a major contributor to global deforestation? Urban expansion, subsistence farming, commercial agriculture. How does permafrost melting contribute to climate change? Releases methane and CO2, absorbs methane and CO2, cools the atmosphere, releases methane and CO2. What is the effect of rising sea levels on coastal communities? No effect. Increases flooding risks. Reduces flooding risks. What is the impact of climate change on human health? Increases health risks. Improves health conditions. No impact. Increases health risks.
Thanks for tuning in to Smart Mind Quiz. Stay curious, stay smart, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more exciting quizzes.